Hi, everybody. This is Silvio Canto in Dallas, Texas on Thursday, March 15th, and welcome to our video commentary. Today, we're going to talk about the election in Cuba. They had an election, what they call an election. I mean, the mere fact that they call it an election is in itself an insult to the intelligence of the Cuban people and the intelligence of anybody who understands what a multi-party election is. That's not what they had in Cuba. What they had in Cuba was basically an election within the official party. So as long as you stay within the guidelines of the official party, you can run for office. Now, there may have been some marginal differences between the candidates, but not a single candidate running for anything was opposed to the Castro regime. You didn't have an opposition party. You didn't have a party calling for major changes in Cuba, economic and political and so on. No, everything was within the official party lines. So this was not an election. This was not an election. This was a travesty brought to you by the Castro dictatorship. Now, what they're trying to do is they're trying to somehow promote the idea around the world that there's a generational change, and there is to some degree because many of these people are getting older and they're dying. So in that sense, there's a generational change. But the people replacing them are basically just younger versions of the older people. I mean, it's not like there is a democratic movement within Cuba. No, it's basically, we replace Raúl Castro with Miguel Díaz-Canel, who thinks and will govern the exact same way. And that's what's happening in Cuba. And that's why this whole election is a total, complete travesty. Now, the good news is that the Cuban people didn't buy into it. Voter turnout was very low. I have a post about this coming out on Friday. And I think the Cuban people, maybe in their own way, were saying, we think this is a farce. And that's why we're not going to show up to vote. So in that sense, at least the Cuban people had an opportunity to tell the world what they thought about the election. Cuba needs elections. We all agree on that. But Cuba needs a multi-party election where different points of view, different political parties, and a real debate about the future of Cuba has to happen. That's the kind of election Cuba needs. That's not the election that Cuba had on Sunday. And I think that it's good to see that many Cubans simply said, we're not going to go along with this farce, and we're not going to play in it. So, well done to the people of Cuba for staying home rather than participating in this farce. Thank you for watching. We have all of these over at YouTube. We have them on my blog, and we also have them on Twitter. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great day.